When we get to Parashat Naso, we read again about the Mishkan, the Chanukat HaMizbeach of the Mishkan, the first offerings brought by the Nesiim. At the very end of the parasha, we go through all 12 heads of tribes and the sacrifices they bring to inaugurate the temple. And you start to wonder, like, what's going on over here? Like, didn't we already talk about this? Didn't we talk about this in Vayikra? Didn't we talk about it at the end of Shemot? Like, what's going on? Why does the Torah keep repeating itself? And the Mishkan and the establishment of the Mishkan, like, what's going on? Is it the end of Shemot? Is it Vayikra? Is it right now the beginning of Bamidbar? What is it all about? And how do we relate to them? What are the aspects of this mitzvah? Because I saw a cool idea in a Dvar Torah by Rav Yonatan Grossman where he actually analyzes each of the times this is discussed and shows that there are actually different aspects of the same day. We have this inauguration of the Beit HaMikdash, but it's from different perspectives. So he explains the first time we encounter Hashem bringing the Shekhinah into the Mishkan, it's in the end of Shemot. And that's about building a home for Hashem. And the whole end of Shemot, the whole end of the Sefer is what we have to build all the kelim to make Hashem's home. And at the end of the parasha, Vaychasanet ol moed uchvod Adonai malet mishkan, and the cloud comes down and Hashem's glory comes in. And from the perspective of our relationship to Hashem and Hashem coming into the world, the end of Shemot symbolizes Hashem coming into the finished building, and we did it, we brought Hashem into the world. In Parashat Vayikra, in the Sefer Vayikra, we have a different aspect. The book of Vayikra is all about the Kohanim, Torah Kohanim, the Levi'im, and their job in serving Hashem. And there we also see the Shekhinah coming down, but there, the focus of the Shekhinah coming down is onto the outside Mizbeach. The fire comes down, takes the sacrifice, and that's referring to the avodah of Hashem, towards Hashem. The avodah of the Levi'im and the Kohanim, different perspective and who the focus is and how we serve God. And now in Parashat Naso, when the Nesiim, when the elders of each tribe comes forth and they bring the sacrifices on the Mizbeach. And this is also talking about the inauguration of temples. The same first day when the Beit HaMikdash is being inaugurated, that first korban brought from the tribe of Yehuda is that same first day, but now it's from the perspective of the nation. So it's no longer from the perspective of Hashem coming down. It's no longer the Kohanim, the Levi'im, the holy people that serve us and try to connect us to Hashem. Now it's from our perspective themselves, from the Yisraelim, from the heads of the tribes representing us, the people. And actually, now that we have the completion of the Mishkan, we had Hashem come down, we're serving Him, and we have now our individual connection to Hashem. Now we're at the perfect time to expand outside of the Mishkan itself to the whole nation, to where the tribes are set up. And that explains the beginning of Bamidbar. We go to the 12 tribes, their flags, where they're situated, because now we have a Mishkan in the center, we have Hashem, the Torah, Emunah, everything's in the center of the camp, and now we discuss the outer perimeter of the camp and how we're going to walk through the desert and make it into the land of Israel. Now sadly, we're going to sin pretty soon with the sin of the spies, but at this point we think we're ready. We have the Holy Place in the middle. We're going to march into Eretz Yisrael. According to some opinions, we're 3 days away, and we're going to enter the land of Israel. Everything is going to be perfect. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And we even have the Berkat Kohanim, the blessing from Aharon, Yerecha Hashem Yishmarecha. Everything is awesome. B'sam Shmiel B'nai Israel. Hashem is with us in between. Beautiful, holy Kedusha. There's only one issue. If you look at the rest of this first parasha, in Parashat Naso, we have ourselves 4 other mitzvot that seem totally out of place. We have the first mitzvah, which discusses the laws of the Shiluach Tme'im Min HaMachaneh, of sending out all the impure people from the actual camp, that they can't be in the camp of holiness. You have to kick them out of the camp of Israel, bring them outside because they have tumah, they have impurity. There's also a halacha about the Asham Gezelot, a special offering you have to bring when people steal. We have the story of the Isha Sota, the woman who's suspected by her husband of committing adultery. And then we have the halachot of a Nazir, a person who, looking for extra kedusha, is going to hold back from drinking and going to the cemeteries, kind of act a little bit like a kohen. Those 4 halachot, sending out the impure, the sacrifices for the stealing, the Isha Sota, and the Nazir, what in the world do they have to do with anything that we're talking about? Some of these halachot should find themselves in Vayikra. Some of them should be in any other parts of the Torah, maybe by Mishpatim or by... What in the world do these mitzvot have to do with anything we're talking about? We're talking about the Shekhinah and the Mishkan, the Jewish people, the camps, the tribes moving. What's the kesher? So says Rabbi Grossman, unbelievable idea. He says that while up until now we've been speaking about bringing Hashem into the world and how to serve Hashem, Now our perspective is Hashem being part of our daily lives, being part of the lives of the whole Jewish people in our homes. So the first halacha is we have to bring out all those that are impure. And having a proper social structure that we have in society, there are certain boundaries. And first thing we have to find out is who is outside of the boundary. Who has to leave our society because you can no longer be part of the society. Those are the laws of the Tum'ah. The next halacha is about Asham Gezelot, about bringing the sacrifices for different kinds of theft. These are Bein Adam L'Chavero laws. So what are you going to say? When it comes to Bein Adam L'Chavero, so God's not involved. It's between man and man. Says the Torah, no. You have to bring sacrifices and you have to bring them before Hashem. It even uses the language of Me'ilah, which is like stealing from God. But these actual halachot are talking about stealing from each other. But the idea is that no. When we don't have respect each other, we don't have Bein Adam L'Chavero, that's a rebellion against Hashem himself, and that too is a problem. That too is an issue of not seeing the Shekhinah in the right place. So you have to come and do your tshuva, come to the Mishkan, come to the sacrifice, stand before God, and realize that even in our daily interactions with each other, we have to remember that we're all images of Hashem and we're all spiritual, and Hashem is involved in our daily lives, even in Bein Adam L'Chavero. The third halacha of Sotah is now going to take us into the actual family, into the personal relationship between a husband and wife, and how they have to treat each other, and the fears that they have with each other. And there Hashem even comes in and says, you know what? Bring me there as well. And you can even erase me for the sake of bringing in Shalom Bayit. But even now in the Mishpacha realm, we have Hashem in the world. And then when we come to the last halacha of the Nazir, so what's the Nazir? The Nazir is the case of a person. Actually, the Gemara says the Nazir comes out because of the Sotah. He sees what happened with drinking and where that could lead to. So he says, you know what, I want to be extra holy and separate myself from the world, and I want to try to act like a Kohen, because a lot of the laws of the Nazir are very similar to a Kohen. I want to be spiritual. I want to be holy. I want to go to the extreme of kedusha, of holiness, of prishut, of separating myself a little bit. And again, now we're back into the individual. And Hashem is here as well, because first off, this is the idea that the person wants to be like a Kohen and wants to connect to Hashem. But also we're going to see that towards the end of the process, he's going to have to come to the Beit HaMikdash as well and stand before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because you are kind of separating from society, and part of the Jewish people is to be part of the full society as well. But these four halachot actually fit in perfectly according to Rav Yisrael Grossman, because it's all about the idea of the Shekhinah being part of our daily lives. So Dafka, these four particular halachot, right before we start moving towards the land of Israel, are taking us back into the realm of the individual, of the family, of society, and saying, okay, we started off by bringing Hashem into the Mishkan and Shemot. Then we started to serve Hashem, and now Hashem is actually a part of us. And now we're going to expand it out into the machana itself, into the Bein Adam L'Chavero, into the husband and wife, and into the individual himself with his desires to get close to the Kadosh Baruch Hu and see the Shekhinah in every aspect of our lives. Shabbat Shalom.